Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start our class with the revolt of 1857. The topic which is I am starting today is immediate cause of the revolt of 1857. By 1857, the country was seething with discontent. It was full of discontent. It was facing lot of problems and troubles. All that was needed, what was needed at time was a spark of trigger, an explosion for the big revolt, a huge revolt. The issue of grease cartridges provided a big spark to the revolt. How? What was the reason? I am again repeating this topic previous class done, but then also the British had introduced a new rifle known as the Enfield rifle in the army. The cartridge had a greased paper cover which had to be bitten off before loading the rifle. In January 1857, a rumor started at Dum Dum cantonment, where in Calcutta. And fill in the blanks also, one question is there. Where the grease cartridge or sepoy revolt started, this one? In Calcutta. That cartridges were greased with the fat of animals, which was a taboo for both Hindus and Muslims. The rumor spread like a wildfire among the Hindu and the Muslim sepoys. They were convinced that the government was deliberately trying to defile their religion. What happened? They started, a panicky type of situation was being faced at that time. The soldiers were afraid that our religion is getting hampered. The Britishers are trying to enter in our religion and to defy our religion, to destroy it. They don't know what is the respect of our religion. So a wave of indignation and anger swept through all the military stations. Indignation, a type of hatred against the Britishers towards this grease cartridges which was being used. So on 29th March 1857, Mangal Pandey, a sepoy at Barakpur, refused to use the cartridge and attacked his senior officers. He was hanged to death. In the eyes of his fellow sepoys, Mangal Pandey was not a rebel but a martyr. On 9th May, 85 soldiers in Meerut refused to use the new rifles and were sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. They were publicly stripped of their uniforms. Their uniforms were open. They were put into fetters in presence of their entire brigade. Put into fetters. They were thrown on the ground. All type of disrespect, all type of disparagement was given to them. So entire brigade was thrown into jail. The people who were revolting, they were thrown into jail. They were put into jail. So this was the main problem which they were facing, the struggle which they were facing. At this point of time, the people, the soldiers were facing a lot of troubles, no respect in their own cantonment, in their own work field. The main events which took place in the revolt were in Meerut first, engaged by the humiliating treatment of comrades, that is the sepoys of the Meerut army, rose into revolt. The revolt not only in Barakpur it started in various regions also. The following day, the sepoys stormed the jail and freed their comrades, shot their European officers, set their bungalows on fire and cut the telegraph line to Delhi, so that the link of communication is also hampered. This type of aggressiveness was being shown by the soldiers, the Indian army men. The next morning in Delhi, They marched to Delhi, where they were joined by the local sepoys. They killed the European officers and captured the city on 11th May 1857. Bahadur Shah Zafar was persuaded to accept the leadership of the revolt. He was proclaimed Emperor of Hindustan. There was a jubilation all around. The restoration of the Mughal Empire was proclaimed with the booming of guns. News quickly spread that Company Raj had come to an end. The people started to revolt. The restoration of Mughal Empire was being proclaimed. The people were shouting with anger that again we want back our Mughal supremacy again. And it was a type of revolt, a type of news. It was spreading that the British Raj has come to an end. And Sepoy revolt had been transformed into a war of independence. So inspired by the capture of Delhi, rebellions broke out over a wide area covering the northwestern frontiers, central India and western Bihar. The success of the revolt, however, proved to be very short-lived. How? Why? Because the British reinforcement started to arrive. They started to reinforce their army. They started to give more pressure to their soldiers. They started to give more active response to this revolt. So arrived, and British reinforcement from Punjab, Delhi was recovered in September 1857. They recovered their position. A reign of terror started, which followed. Thousands of innocent people were massacred and killed, and hundreds were hanged without any trial, hanged to death without any trial. Cases was done. No hearing, no cases, no judgment, only hanged till death. This was the pathetic condition the people were facing in that time. Bahadur Shah Zafar was taken as prisoner, tried and exiled to Rangoon. The royal prince's two sons and one grandson of Bahadur Shah Zafar were shot dead. Just imagine, the royal prince's two sons and one grandson was also shot dead. Such you can tell a terror the Britishers were doing. Such a evil practices was being done by them. Once the great dynasty of Mughals finally came to an inglorious end. Inglorious term is used, not a glorious but an inglorious end, without any support in front of their own people. The people who were just in misery, they were helpless. They wanted to help their emperor, but they were helpless in front of the weapons of the Britishers. So at the end, his two sons and the grandson were killed, and it is also told that their bodies were also shown to the people on the streets as a mark of showing the strength of the British Empire to the people of India who were revolting against it. In this situation, the centers and the leaders of the revolt started. Many places revolt took place, not only Meerut, not only Delhi, now in Kanpur, Lucknow, Jhansi, these all places the people started to revolt. The revolt in Kanpur was led by Nana Sahib, the adopted son of the former Peshwa Bajirao II. He captured Kanpur and proclaimed himself the Peshwa. His victory was short-lived. British reinforcement arrived and Kanpur was recaptured. The rebels were punished severely. Nana Sahib escaped. His brilliant commander Tantya Tope continued the struggle but was later arrested and hanged. And what was the result now? The revolt in Kanpur was led by Nana Sahib, an adopted son of the former Peshwa Bajirao II, and he captured Kanpur and proclaimed himself the Peshwa also. His victory was short-lived also. British reinforcement arrived. In this situation, when the revolt took place in Kanpur, at this situation what happened? British reinforcement means what? Counter-attack. The places where the revolts were getting empowered strength, the Britishers were counter-attacking. So British reinforcement arrived and Kanpur and recaptured it. The revolt was recaptured, the place was recaptured. The rebels were punished severely for the revolt being done by them. Nana Sahib escaped in this situation because if standing then revolting, he knew that the end was sure of him. But his brilliant commander Tantia Tope, till end he fought and continued the struggle, but was later arrested and hanged till death. This was the end. Next, in Lucknow, how the revolt happened. Sepoys in Lucknow, the capital of Awadh it was, were joined by the disbanded soldiers. Disbanded means the soldiers who were thrown out in Awadh from the army cantonment of the old Awadh army, as well as the talukdars and the peasants also joined the revolt. The revolt was led by Hazrat Mahal, the queen of the deposed and exiled Nawab of Awadh. The exiled Nawab of Awadh who was thrown out, his queen Hazrat Mahal started the revolt. The British forces were defeated and besieged in Lucknow residency. British forces were defeated. They besieged also. They were thrown out also at that time in Lucknow residency. For several months they were pushed back. But fresh reinforcement when came, arrived from England. The forceful army they brought from England, and Lucknow was again recaptured. So all the rebels were then captured and again hanged. The rebels were hanged. Shot dead was given. Hanged what? They were shot dead on the site only. The queen escaped to Nepal in this situation. Because living there, staying there means death and sentence and insult was sure of these people. At Jhansi, what happened? The revolt in Jhansi in central India was led by the bravest and the best of the military leaders, of the rebels. The 22-year-old Rani Lakshmi Bai, she fought gallantly. Gallantly means very bravely against the British forces. But Jhansi was captured. And Rani Lakshmi Bai escaped, mobilized her forces, and with the help of Tantia Tope, captured Gwalior and drove out Sindhya, a loyal ally of British. The history behind is that Sindhya actually in their only cantonment, in their only group he was, but what happened? It became loyal to the British, started to pass the message, information about their empires or any military movements. So she fought very gallantly, very bravely, and Rani Lakshmi Bai escaped and mobilized her forces also. She escaped from there. She mobilized her forces with the help of Tantia Tope and captured Gwalior also in first phase. That means they won. In first phase they won. Fierce fighting followed. Rani, dressed like a soldier, using her sword with both hands and holding the reins of the horse. In the reins of the horse is also there. In one hand she is holding, and the swords are also there in her hand. And thus the reins of the horse were held in the mouth. My just so fearful battle she was fighting. The brave Rani died in the battle, fighting to the very end. Till the end she was fighting. She symbolized courage and bravery and the spirit of freedom. Thus Rani Lakshmi Bai became the most enduring symbol and the greatest inspirational force for the future generations of the freedom fighters. Thus by July 1858, 14 months after the outbreak at Meerut, peace was declared. When 14 months after the outbreak, only peace was declared, a type of silence. The revolt had been crushed. The British Empire had survived. The revolt was crushed and everything went into the hands of British. It is said that Rani Lakshmi Bai, though died, her devoted followers immediately from the battlefield burnt her body, took her body and burnt her body because they did not want the British to boast and they had captured her. They did not want to show the people and they did not want the Britishers to have the body of the Rani Lakshmi to boast their strength, to show their strength. For that, they immediately took the body from the battlefield and they burnt her body. What was the results of the revolt? So we read about such a fearful battle, such a harsh battle which took place a long time to give a mark, to give a result, and lot of sacrifices. First of all, lot of sacrifices of so innocent people. What was their crime? What they did for which they were killed? They were hanged to death. They only fought for their own homeland. They in fact did not went to their any foreign land and they were fighting. They were only fighting for their own rights. They wanted their own territory back. The peasants fought for their land to survive, to do farming, so that they can feed their stomach and the stomach of their own family members, and also to earn the living. This was the pathetic condition which the people was, innocent people were facing. So what was their fault for which they had died? It was only the corrupt Britishers who entered India with only looting tendency, the tendency to capture, torture Indians and use them only as slaves, and to take away the raw materials to only fill their pockets and treasures, nothing else. And the raw materials which were used in the England factories for producing all types of goods which were getting transported one place to another, from which they were earning heavy economy. They were earning heavy economy from that. That was the only ultimatum, their target for which they had entered into India's boundary. Now in this situation, what the result of the revolt? Somehow some result. A remark was placed by the revolt. The Great Uprising of 1857 was an important landmark in the history of modern India. The rule of the English East India Company came to an end. India now came under the direct rule of the British Parliament and the Queen of England. Queen Victoria was declared the Empress of India in 1876 by the Royal Title Act of 1876. Queen Victoria issued a proclamation promising to look after the welfare of the Indian people. Treaties with Indian states would be honored, respect should be given to them. The doctrine of lapse was abolished. The right to adopt son as legal heirs was acknowledged. Yes, the son's right is there to hire the throne, to hire the empire, or to extend the head. A general pardon was granted to all the rebels, and except those who had killed British subjects. A general pardon was given. Someone also freed from their prisonery, and except those who had killed the British people. The British government would not interfere in social and religious customs of the Indian people. The Indians would be given opportunities to be associated with the administration's high posts in the government services, and would be given on the basis of merit, not race. Indians would be given opportunities to be associated in administration, but on the merit basis, not on the race. Race means the differences of blacks and whites, Britishers and Indians. The army was reorganized and strengthened. The number of British soldiers were now increased. Seeing the situation of the revolt of 1857, now they were very alert in their artillery, in the army men, and placed exclusively under their control only. The revolt of 1857 had come as a great shock to the British. The proclamation of the Queen Victoria was an attempt to pacify the feelings and sentiment of the Indian people, and to convince them that their interests were now safe under the rule of British Crown. The proclamation which was given to Queen Victoria was only to soothe down the revolting Indians and to give them assurance that the British Crown was for the welfare. But actually it was not. And somehow, at some extent, it had gone very aggressive by their British men only. What was the nature of the revolt? How the revolt has took a shape, took its survival tendency. The European Historians have described the revolt of 1857 as a mutiny of sepoys. The sepoys were there to first revolt in an aggressive way. Modern Indian historians had rejected the European point of view. According to them, the revolt was the outcome of accumulated grievances of different sections of people, not only sepoys. There were different sections of people, zamindars, talukdar, peasants, the common society, the people whose religion was hampered. So all the Indians whose grievances were there, they all joined in the revolt. It was not only the sepoys. We cannot blame only the sepoys for it. All people were equal participant in the revolt. So those who joined the revolt had different reasons and different motives, but they were all united in one ground war, that is hatred for Britishers and to throw out the Britishers from India. It had a wide popular support from various sections of society. Even the boatmen of Lucknow refused to carry British soldiers across the river. Now this was the revolt being done. The struggle created a strong bonding and sense of unity between the Hindus and Muslims. They fought shoulder to shoulder against their common enemy. Of the estimated 150,000 people were killed in the revolt, around 1 lakh were the civilians only, in which 1 lakh were civilians. How we can say that they were only the soldiers who first revolted? They were the common people also in the same ground, in the same grievances who were facing. They all revolted. Hence the revolt was not a mutiny, but it was the first large-scale popular movement. It was just the beginning, popular uprising, beginning against the various social, religious and economic injustices of the foreign rule. It was the first large-scale expression of a desire for freedom from foreign rule. Thus, it would be more appropriate to describe the revolt as India's first step towards freedom. So it was India's first step towards struggle for freedom. They were struggling for freedom. Okay. So it was a struggle till their independence they got. The struggling they had started from here, from the revolt of 1857 against the British Raj, to throw them out from India. In this way, we are closing today's lesson, the 1857 revolt. Read the lesson for short questions and all. And I am giving you in today's class, in today's worksheet, the answers of the back exercises. Okay, solve those, practice those. Okay, and then we will do some revision works also, but we will first enter into civics. We will complete it, then we will start the revision works. So in this way we will completed the lesson, but you have to read the lesson properly. You read it and you understand it, and also today's worksheet I will give you the questions and answers related to today's lesson. Thank you.